Hello and welcome to our demo on the solution Personalized Weather and Travel Advisory for Sales Reps in Salesforce using Salesforce's Agentforce features, AI features, uh, especially the Agentforce Agent Assistant that we will demo today. In our previous demo, we had already showcased the prompt builder field generation and how it is used in this case. And today's demo, we will focus on the Agentforce Agent, which acts as a smart assistant to pull weather data and provides contextual travel advice interactively. So just to summarize, for those who haven't seen the first demo on this same topic, so there's a client of ours which had the current status, which is labeled as current status, which was the initial status, where they had an action button to get weather information. The idea behind the weather information being on their account record was as a tool for the sales reps to know what is happening in the place where the account is, so that when they call them or when they're planning a visit, they can use that information as an added insight, maybe as a conversation starter, and so on. So this was picked up as a trial for Agentforce features. And while this demo focuses on personalized weather, you can think of it in terms of what all um, can we integrate into Salesforce and use the agentic power of Agentforce to build solutions that provides us with more insights. In this case, if you can clearly see the path where the Salesforce, as is the initial state, was used as a system of record where the entire record is stored, to Agentforce Agent, where it's moved beyond just being a system of record to being a smart assistant that helps you close deals, is providing you with insights and tips, in this case travel tips or weather related information that you can use as conversation starters. And it provides you in a contextual manner. So it depends on your prompts, depends on your questions. It will provide you with insights. So it's the same data source across the three branches, but all of them are used differently. The prompt builder field generation provides you with a summary, an insight summary, whereas the Agentforce agent, as I mentioned before, acts as a smart assistant. So it's not just giving you insight; it is also contextually understanding where you're coming from, what's your question, and what kind of insights are you looking for. And we will see that in the demo. So let's quickly go on to the demo here, and we have an account page already pulled up. And in the normal scenario, we had these 4 fields. And if we were to update these fields, we will use this action button, as I mentioned, and it will update this information. Now, this was okay initially, but what if you don't want that? You don't want to have field here that just mentions the weather information, or for the matter, any data related information that you have, and you have an API that pulls in data. You really don't need this information here. What you really need is insight. And what if the Agentforce agent can provide you with the insights you are seeking? So let's start with a question like, what's the weather in this city, right? And this is the AI assistant. Now it's going through the actions, and I'll give you the back end of what the actions is, what the asset is, and so on. But for now, let's just go through the demo. So as you can see, I asked a question, what's the weather in the city? It identified where I am, or where the account is, I mean. So it's in London, UK. So it provides you the weather, provides you a summary of what it is. And also, because this assistant, this action has been configured to provide you with a conversation starter and as a travel guide, it says you might want to mention the pleasant temperature today and the slight drop. For your trip, consider packing. So it's acting as both as a sales tip, as a conversation starter, and also the way it's been designed, it's also providing you with some travel tidbits in case you're traveling to that place. So this is great, but what if you have further questions? Let's say, should I plan a trip to see this customer today? Based on the current weather, it seems like a good time for indoor meetings given the cooler, cloudier forecast. So it's giving you more tidbits based on that same source of information. How do I mention the weather to build a positive relationship, and it provides you looking forward to catching up. So it's giving you an entire text, and this has not been fed by us. This has not been fed by anyone. It's an information that the Gen AI is combining with the data that we have that coming from API, in this case the weather API, and then it's building out a conversation, a text conversation, a sample conversation that you can use. Uh, what would be a good weather-related icebreaker that I can use? Let's try this one. All right, so it's saying, do you have any favorite indoor spots you like to visit when the weather is like? So it's giving you something to act upon. You don't have to use the exact wordings, but at least now you have an idea. And all of this without going outside, you have got the weather. It's uses Gen AI features, and this is an information that you can seek. So imagine it being, if you can take a step back and say, all right, this is not just weather. Let's say you have customer sentiment data. So before you call them and you're asking how was the latest or recent survey, and it pulls the record, finds out what the survey meant, what the survey said, and if it was a negative feedback, then it provides you tips as to how to overcome uh, that kind of initial resistance that you might expect from someone who's given you a negative survey, and then coming back with a response. So look at it as a tool that guides you. And as I mentioned before, what this is combining to become is more than just a system of record. It's becoming more of your assistant as a guide who helps you close the opportunities related to this account faster, right? So, and here's a good question recommendation as well. And by the way, there are certain recommendations that we can feed it, but there are certain recommendations that it will provide on its own. Again, that's contextual. Awesome. So as you can see, again, I asked what can I say about the weather to open the call. It has provided me with some more tidbits, indoor activities, catching up, and so on. So, and I can keep going on, and from here I can switch the context as well. I can find out, summarize this account for my trip, uh, and it will do it. So it's summarizing, and it'll give me a brief synopsis of what this account is all about, the opportunities. This is a dummy account, so you won't find much opportunities, open cases, or so on. But it has given you a quick tidbit. So if you're on a call, if you're going to pick up a phone, now you have the weather information that has been configured by us. You have the stock actions, such as the summarize the account feature that summarizes the account for you, provides you with more. Uh, in case if they were using some service accounts, you have a premium SLA expiring, so and so. Open cases, none in this case, but if let's say there were many opportunities, let's say there were a few of them which are closed won or lost, you have all of that information quickly summarized without looking at without going into clicks. Let's say if you had to find the same information, first of all, you will have to do your own digging. You have the cases and so on. So this is the power of the agent that we are using. Some of the features are stock, and then when you add some custom actions, such as the one that we have just added, it just enhances the features of the agent. It makes you more nimble and helps you close these deals faster. And so it's actually, as it's called by its title, it's an AI assistant. It really does do its job in that sense. So that is the demo, a very quick demo. And I will show you what's under the hood, what's happening in the back end. But before we go there, I do want to show you the entire process map of what and some of the terms and things that you will see when we create something like this. And one point to mention is the whole weather piece was already developed, right? So there was an Apex already in place. So once again, we didn't break anything. We didn't create something new. We enhanced what they already had. So we could have created a whole new flow, whole new API setup, but no, we are just using the exact same things that they had and building on top of it step by step. and we have the agent, and this is the process map. So we have the Agentforce Agent UI, as you can see here, and we have the object. In this case, it could be an account, a contact, or an opportunity. And from there, it identifies the record ID and it passes it to the prompt that is driving all this output, right? That you see on your screen. All of this output is driven by prompt instructions in the back end, and we will go there. So the prompt instruction, before it goes there, the Agentforce needs to understand what to call. Like if you're asking for weather, where should I go? So within Agentforce, in the setup, you will see, and now it's a good time for me to take you through the setup. And we will keep switching between the process map and the setup. Let's go here. So we have, if you can see the Agentforce, there are two of them, Agentforce Agents and Agentforce Assets. We will first go through the agent itself and then the underlying assets that are powering all the things that you see. So we have this is the one that is this box you see here. That's what's driving it. And now let's open this one in the builder. All right. So as you can see, we have topics. Now you have seen this in this diagram. We have a weather info topic, which is the weather and the travel assistant for sales rep topic. And if I can quickly look at the info topic, it's again divided into two: the configuration, the topic configuration, and the topic action. And both of them are required for the Agentforce agent to understand what this weather info topic is supposed to do. So essentially giving it the broad framework of what it's supposed to act upon, and then the actual action itself, which is called as a topic action, which does what it's supposed to do. So in case it's supposed to do a flow or run a flow, calculate in the back, and then provide the instruction back. That happens through the topic action. So there are two things: topic configuration and topic action. Let's have a look at it. So as you can see, the two tabs here: topic configuration and topic action, right? And here you provide it with a description. In this case, we have provided it with a description that it's for the SDRs, sales development reps, with real-time weather insights for accounts to help them create more engaging, personalized conversations during outreach. Now that you know the description, I think the response that you have got from the Agentforce may now make sense. You can see that it is sticking to that description. It is trying to provide you with weather, but more importantly, it is also trying to give you some basic trip planning tips and also personalized conversation starters for outreach, right? So again, giving it more context, designed as a conversation starter, provide personalized weather-based conversation starter, travel advice, and so on. And then what is its scope? So what I've configured it here is your job is to provide SDRs with real-time weather information and offer localized weather, including conditions and temperatures to help personalize engagement. So that is the scope and the description, and then follows the instructions. And from my experience, I've seen these instructions go a long way in deciding if it's actually doing what it's supposed to do. And it can also allow, and this is human language for configuring logic. So based on the weather, generate a friendly travel tip, gather the travel destination, provide current weather, provide tips. So these instructions can be very crucial in deciding the path that the Agentforce agent takes. And then finally, the weather tips. There is no limit to how many you can give in terms of the user input. You can give it more suggestions. The more you give, more contextual it becomes, because it understands where all or what all are being sought. And that's really great, because then it truly understands what is the requirement. So mixed with instruction, the classification description, scope, and the instructions, along with example user input, it provides a strong base for Agentforce to understand what is it that you're trying to do and what are the guardrails for me to operate within. And now that we have set this up, what does how does this action actually execute what you require? So as you can see, there are 3 actions linked to it, one for the account, one for the contact, and one for the opportunity. If you go back to the process map, as I mentioned, this output or this information should be available not just on a contact, but all the related contacts and opportunities. And that's why we have 3. We made it simple. We have 3 separate actions, each of them focusing on one object, that's account, contact, or opportunity. So if I were to open this one, and this is where the action part of it comes in. So let's go back again, and you see here, you see the Agentforce agent, and then you see the Agentforce assets. If you click on the assets part, again, you will see various actions there, and this is our action. It goes back here, right? And if this is the overall action setup, this topic's actions, and you can click go from the action itself, the topic itself, and then go here. Or if you already know the name, go back here again, click on the actions tab, and just search for it. And also, this is the place where you create a new agent. In our case, we've already created 3 agents for this one. So I will open one and show you what we did and how we did. So this is actually this comes up right on top. So account weather update. And as you can see, this account weather update uses a flex prompt template, which is the one that is the execution part of the action. And then there is the configuration of the action itself. So the action is divided into 2 parts, inputs and outputs. So what input is it getting and what output is it supposed to deliver? Now the output is fairly easy to understand. It is going to be the Gen AI output that you're seeking. But what crucially depends on is the input. And again, this input is determined by the prompt. So what all are you trying to do? If you have gone through our first demo on the prompt builder piece, field generation prompt builder piece, you will see that this is pretty much identical. We have the objective, the role and the objective, the goals here, and the resources. The resources provide you with what is the input required. So input account billing city, input billing country, and also the flow. And the flow provides it with the Apex, with the API, weather API. It communicates with the API and provides it back to the prompt, and the inputs provided with the city and the country that is important, and then it provides the output. Now, just for a better understanding, if you see here, the prompt instructions, which is this one, understands that the input required is the city and the country, right? And it also understands that there is flow that is also one of its resource. So it calls the flow, passes on the record ID for it to work on it, and that is what calls the Apex, which does its work with Open Weather API, and then provides it back to flow and through flow to the prompt instructions. And now it has got the city, the country, and the flow output. And all 3 combined, along with the instructions, provide it enough information to generate an AI response in the agent UI, and depending on the instructions. So for example, it's currently 22, cloudy in Toronto, and so on. All of this happens here. This is where the magic happens, and then it's transmitted to the Agentforce agent to deliver. And the Agentforce agent is now looking at context to decide which action to carry out. So if you're asking more weather related information, again, it will check the weather info topic and then decide based on the configuration, the action, which action to execute. And if the prompt instructions say otherwise, then they will do something else. So that's the whole cycle. And then if you remember, we did ask it to summarize this account. Now the summarizing is a standard action, which is not this one. So it will, again, the Agentforce agent will decide based on the based on the configuration, the topic configuration, whether this is the right topic where I should feed this info to. And in that particular case, it wasn't. So it will go to the stock action that is already part of this builder, and then execute the actions depending on that. So this is how all of this works. And now that we have seen how the entire process maps out, I want to quickly summarize before we wrap up this demo and open it up for any questions that you may have. So we have an account, we have the weather info. Suppose you have to get on a call with someone and you quickly want to do a couple of things just to make sure you're up to speed with the account. So let's say you summarize the account, which means that the agent will pick up the right action to execute and summarize this account for you. And then let's say you want to get the latest weather and travel tip for this account. Let's say you were planning a travel to this place and you want to understand what the weather is and what suggest a weather related icebreaker for this account. So again, hi there, I noticed a bit overcast. How are you finding the cooler weather? So that is the power of Agentforce, where we mix the standard actions that you get out of box along with custom, very unique to you, your use case actions that we can mix it up, and it makes it more powerful. And if I could summarize it, this is what has happened from being a system of record for your organization. Now it has transformed itself to be an assistant to push a deal to its conclusion and closed one status in Salesforce. And that is the power of sales. That's the power of Agentforce that now is available. If you're a small and medium business, you have that capability of driving sales through your sales reps. And this is just one example. There are many such use cases, and I will demo those separately, but there are many such use cases that um, uh, drive more value for you through Agentforce. So it'll be great to get on that and get the results that you seek for your company. All right. So thank you very much. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Thank you.